Hello everyone, John here with WebDev for you, here to help you build awesome websites without code in Webflow. Welcome to my live stream. If you're new to this live stream, I do these every Monday through Thursday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central, and we cover everything Webflow to building layouts, creating animations and interactions. We talk about design, and all that good stuff. I also provide support via the super chat feature in YouTube. So if you need help with your Webflow site, feel free to drop a question there and I'll be happy to help. So on today's agenda, we're going to work with the Swiper.js slider. We're also going to kind of work with a layout build. So nothing too intense, but I want to show the different effects that you can do with the Swiper.js slider. And then from 12:30 to 12:40, I'll field any questions about this build. And then from 12:40 to 1, we'll just have a general Webflow discussion, and I'll field any super chats as well. So I'll go ahead and get started, and hope everyone has had a great weekend. But yeah, I'll go ahead and get started. This is Swiper.js, so it's Swiper.js or swiperjs.com, and then you can just click these few slides and click Get Started. And we're just going to go through, I'm going to go to the API documentation. Actually, let's look at a few demos. And you can see here, it's just a really cool slider. The one that I want to work on today is like they have this 3D slider, or this square slider. Hey Rashid, hey Amkar. So let's see. Okay, the cube effect. So I want to create a slider like this. So I think that should be fun. And I also want to combine it with something like this. So let's create a blog post, and then we'll create blog cards, and then we'll turn it into a 3D slider, or a 3D cube slider, and then we'll play around with other effects. So I think that could be a fun kind of thing for us to do today. So let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is I'll go into Webflow. I have a blank project here, and let me just hide this here. So I'm going to amp up my energy. I know last Friday I was pretty just relaxed. It was the end of the week and I had worked pretty hard that week, so I was very tired. So definitely want to amp up the energy. I want my excitement of Webflow to show. I don't want it to seem like I'm just dragging along the tutorial. So if you notice any dip in energy, just say, hey John, like, come on, get with it, or something. I don't know. But yeah, feeling refreshed this week, so should be a good week for these live streams. So I'll go ahead and let's create a blog post. So I'll open up the CMS, then I'll click the plus here. And let's just create a blog post collection. I'll create the collection, and let's add 10 items, sample items. So I like the sample items because they include images and everything, so I don't need to do anything with the blog post. We can see we have the rich text, we have the summary, we have the images, and a color. So I can use this for the 3D slider. So now that we have the blog post, let's go ahead and create the slide structure. So that's the first thing we need to do. And we need to create this structure here. Then we'll bring in the script and everything else. But first, let's just work on the structure. So it's Swiper wrapper, and then Swiper slides. So let's go ahead into Webflow. And hey, what's up, Manuel? Hope Cryptoland is going well. I know everybody's getting into crypto now. I guess it's okay for me to talk about it. Actually, I still feel a bit weird talking about it because the technology is getting better. With Facebook announcing Meta, that made me more open to talking about it, because it seems like if Facebook's going to adopt something along the lines of crypto or something, I do see it gaining more popularity. So, I'm probably a latecomer to the game, but I just didn't trust the technology initially to get fully into it. But it looks like it's starting to have some good use cases, and I think gaming is probably going to be the best use case for that specific technology. Anyway, going off on a tangent there. sorry about that. Let's go into building the slider. So I'll start with the section. If you're familiar with my live streams, you know I always start with the section. We've been covering a lot of different style, what are they called? Style systems. The recent one I went over was the client first. I was recently looking at Flamingo and Hatch. I did look at the style system, but to me it just seems like he has a lot of classes, which is fine. I think that's a cool way to do it. Like if we go to if I open the live site and we go to the documentation, we can see he pretty much has a class name for everything. So if we go to layout and we go to container, he has a class name for every type of container. So that's fine, like nothing wrong with that. And he has a class name for, different display settings and all that good stuff. So rather than going to Webflow and clicking yourself, you can just type in the class name. So that's an interesting way to do it. I'm not going to go too in depth into this style system, but it is out there if you're interested. It's Hatch by Flamingo. So cool. So let's get back into the slider. Let's work on the structure. So we have the section. I'm going to set the min height to 100 VH. I'm not going to add a container because we're just going to add the slider in the center, and I'll set it to flex center center, or flex center center. And then we'll go ahead and add, sorry about that, I turned off my notifications there, which I might do really quick. We don't want any pop-ups at the moment. Okay, cool. All right, Monero, yes, crypto's going quite well, but I try not to put too much time in it. It's addictive, haha, but it's going to be very big in the future. Yeah, definitely. I like to focus on things that, that feel like a craft as well, because I know people can get really caught up in it. So to me, building websites is a craft, making music is a craft. Anything that can improve yourself as a person, I feel, is rather than chasing something. But I know crypto is pretty hot right now, so I dabble a little bit in it, but yeah, we'll continue here. Yes, thank you, Manuel. Appreciate it. Yeah, gotta stay focused. So we have the swiper wrapper, and the swiper slide. So let's go ahead into Webflow and we'll add a div. And for this, I'll say swiper. Yeah, we'll just call it swiper. So we want to give it the class names, and let me organize my tabs here. We want to follow this class naming convention. So swiper is the parent, then we have the swiper wrapper, and then we have the swiper slides. So we have swiper, and then I'll add another div block. We have the swiper dash wrapper, and then in here we have the slide. So here I'll say swiper dash slide. No, don't want the slider. Add a div block, and here we'll say, we'll call this swiper dash slide. Okay, so we have the swiper wrapper, and the swiper slide. So following this wireframe, we're going to create this card. In this card, let's see how I want to do this. Yeah, okay, so yeah, we'll set a specific width and height to the slide. So I'll say 500 by 500, that's too big. Let's do 400 by 400. So that's our card. Let's corner the edges. So I'm gonna say 30 pixel radius. Might be too much, but we'll play with it for now. Then for the background, I'm gonna get the background, or actually in the swiper slide, we're gonna add a collection list. And I'm gonna get the collection list from the blog post that we added. And for the element settings, I'm gonna limit it to 1, just show 1, and we'll start at 1, perfect. Okay. Then for the collection list wrapper, let's just give it the class name, collection list wrapper. Let me set the position to absolute and full. And for the swiper slide, let's set the position to relative. Then we have the collection list, give it the class name, collection list, and we'll set it to absolute and full. And then we have the collection item, same thing. Set it to position absolute and full. Okay, I think we might only need to, let me see if this works. No, we would need to collection item, collection list. I think that might work. No. Collection list. Yeah, no, we need to set absolute to all of them. All right, so that looks good. Collection list. All right, cool. So now to the swiper or to the collection list wrapper, I'm going to get the background, or let's see, the collection item. Yeah, the collection item. Let's get the background image from main image. Okay, get BG image. Okay, for main image. Then we'll go into the, and why isn't this collection item filling the space? So do I need to say 400 by 400? Yeah. All right, we need to do 400 by 400. So actually what I can do is remove the absolute positioning from the collection list, and not the swiper slide, but I can remove the width and height from the swiper slide because we're inheriting from the collection item here. And then we'll get to the background. We'll set it to cover and center. Perfect. And let's set the radius to 30. Okay, that looks good. All right, so we have the image. Now what I can do within the collection item, I'm going to add a div block, and I'm going to set the position to absolute and full. Okay, so what happened here? Let's see, collection item. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we'll remove the absolute positioning from the collection item. All right, that works. So we don't need absolute positioning at all. Right, okay. So for this div block, I'm going to set it to, yeah, for this, okay, for the collection item, I need it to be relative. And then this div block is going to be the color overlay. So I'm going to say color overlay. And then we'll just set it to kind of a black. And we'll make the alpha like 40. Okay, so that just gives us a nice overlay. And for the collection item, I can set the overflow to hidden, so we don't see the overlay coming out of the collection item. All right, so let's see here. Oops, you saw my email, that's fine. Let's see, let's go into here. All right, so we have the date, we have the title, and we have a paragraph. Okay, so let's do that. And for the collection item, I'm going to set it to flex, vertical, and justify bottom. So we start from the bottom, and then I'm going to say we're going to add a heading. I'll go ahead and make this an H3 heading. Now we didn't create a style guide, which I like to start with, but yeah, we'll just style all H3 headings, and we'll set the font to white, and let's make it, let's use Inconsolita, sure. Okay, the heading, let's see, the color overlay, there we go. And I want the heading to be above the color overlay. So the color overlay, we'll set a z-index of, or set the all H3 headings, let's do relative. Okay, yeah, so it comes to the front. And actually, I don't want to style my H3 headings that way, so let's do that, and I'll just call this, we'll give it a custom class, we'll say card-heading, or blog-card heading, and then we'll set it to relative, okay? And then we'll get the heading from the blog post name. Awesome. Okay, so now we'll add a paragraph. Okay, so I'll add a paragraph, and we'll bring that paragraph right here. We'll set all paragraph text to white, and we'll say blog card paragraph. Okay, because this isn't specifically for a client, I didn't create a style system initially. I just went into it. Hey Saurav, hello. relative, okay. And let's get this text from the post summary. Okay, that's looks okay, kind of a lot of text, but we'll roll with it. And then let's add a date. So we also have a date. So we'll add a text block. And then this, I'll say blog card date. Okay, and then we'll do something like this. And we'll make the text white. Set it to relative. Okay, and then we'll get the text from the published on date. So we haven't published it, so we don't get that. And then we'll add one more element. We'll add a button, and we'll link to the blog post, current blog post. Okay, and we'll say blog card button. Set it to relative so it comes to the front, and that looks good. So for the collection item, let's set it to vertical and justify or align start. Okay, then for the collection item, I'm going to add some padding all around so it's nice and centered. And then I'll say read more here. And we will give it border radius of 30. And let's change that color, something like that. Okay, so we can make the color overlay a bit darker. Or better yet, we can add a gradient. Or let me see, let's see if we set it darker. Yeah, let me add a gradient. Let me try that. So, oh wait, no, yeah, okay. Delete this, click the plus, we'll add a gradient. And we'll reverse this. So let's swap it. And then the white, we'll lower the alpha. There we go. Perfect. All right, cool. So there's our card. It looks good. So all we have to do now is copy the swiper slide 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And for each collection item or collection list, we'll just change where we start. So I'll start at 2. And for this one, we'll start at 3. And for this one, we will start at 4. Okay. So what happened here? Collection list, show 1 start at 3. Collection list, start at 2. So 1. Okay, cool. All right. So there's our different collection cards. How to get work in Webflow. Yeah, just learn it and, you know, post your portfolio if you have one, and you can get work. And let me change the color here, something like that. Actually, no, black is fine. Yeah, we'll stay with black. All right, cool. So we have our cards. Now we can bring in Swiper.js to make the 3D slider. So we want to make this slider here, right? So let's go into Webflow. I'm going to go into getting started here, and they have a CDN script that I can grab. It is, let's see. Here we go. So we want to bring in the style sheet. So I'll copy this, go into Webflow, go into the custom code, go into the head section, paste that in there. And let's just format it a bit better. There we go. And cool. And then we want this script here in the before the body tag. So the script tag goes before the body tag, and the style sheet goes in the head section. So I'll click save, and let's go ahead and initialize Swiper.js. So I can copy this code right here. So this is how we initialize it. Go into Webflow, and then in the before the body tag, just open up the script, paste this code in there, and then I'll close the script. All right, so these are the settings for our slider. Let me just try to leave it like this, and then we'll go into the documentation, and get the code that we need for this. So let me look here. So this is effect cube, and let's see. So I'm gonna have to, okay, effect cube. So let me go into the documentation here, and let's look in here, and cube effect. Okay, so for the cube effect, we need to add effect cube, and yeah, so I'll just copy this here, go into Webflow and constant swiper. So let's just paste this code in there. So effect cube, cube effect, slide shadows false. Okay. Yeah, let's try it. I might have to remove some of these settings, but let's go ahead and see how it looks. FinSuite has a great workaround to create real CMS based sliders. Interesting. All right, so let's see. Yeah, something's not working. All right, so let's go back into Webflow and let's see, cube effect. Be sure to have the effect parameter set to cube in order for this to work. Cube effect options. Okay. So something is up. I definitely did something wrong here. So let's see, cube effect. Oh, okay, no, I closed the script tag. That's good. Script source, okay. Link style sheet. That looks, oh, space here. I don't think that'll have much of an effect, but let's try it. Yeah, I'll check out the FinSuite CMS-based sliders. I know some users definitely wanted that feature. Okay, so for this, I think I have to set a width and height to the slider, maybe. Let's see, pagination. Let me try to remove all of this. And okay, so that should work. Swiper cube, effect, and let's try it. Hey John, how's it going? Not managed to catch you live in a while due to the time difference, but catching the replays. I'm still laughing my ass off at a few episodes back when you had the hiccups. Yeah, that was one of the funnier episodes for sure. Yeah, did not like those hiccups. All right, so I think I have to set an explicit width and height to the slider, to the swiper here. So let's try that. Let's do 400 by 400, and let's see how we go. I think that was the issue I had last time too. Like you have to set an explicit width and height. Yeah, that's it. Sweet. How cool is that? Oh my God. And then click read more. All right, we don't have a CMS page for that. Oh man, I'm loving that. And look at the date is on there. Oof. Dopeness. 20. Let's just add some margin from the bottom. So let's quickly create a blog post template page. So for this, we'll just add a section, and I'll call this section blog, and we'll add a div, and we'll set it to let's add a container, div container. Oh, I did it again. Container, and we'll call this container, and we'll set a max width of 1440. For the blog, let's add 5 VW from the left, padding for the section, 5 VW, same from the top, we'll just add 5 VW for now. And then we'll add the blog heading, make it an H1, great, we'll get the name from the blog. Then we'll add Or you know what, better yet, I'm not going to get too much into styling here. We'll add a div block. This will be the blog main image, and then we'll get the background from the main image, and we'll set it to choose image. We'll cover it and center. Oh, cool. And then we'll add a border radius, 30 pixels. Looks good. Let me say blog heading. Okay, so now I'm starting, as I'm using my own method now, I'm starting to see the benefits of like a system like client first. I know it's weird for me to say that because I've been, not great with it, but I can start to see like you just have preset padding and margins, so you don't have to worry about creating more classes for your headings, and that can oftentimes lead to more classes when you have different headings on different pages and you need different margin for the different layouts. So I can see that. We'll see if I start switching over to a system like that, but for now I'll just keep going. So rich text, let's get the rich text from the post body, and yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, the blog main image, let's add some. Yeah, but you see here, like if I wanted to add margin to the bottom of this image, I'd have to wrap it in a parent using a system like client first. Here I can just add margin to the bottom of this image and we're good to go. So what did I do here? I think, let me go here and all H1 headings. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why that spacing looks like that. Anyway, but now we have, some type of blog page. So if I go back and I publish, sorry about the dog, you probably see somebody outside. And there we go. And then if I click read more, we go to that blog page. How cool is that? Nice. You can go back, click read more. That's an interesting way to go through blog posts. I like it. So let's see if I can get it to infinitely rotate. So let's go back into swiperjs.com and let's go to the documentation and initiate. So let's see if I do loop true, if we can get a looping cube. So here I'll just cube effect, we'll say loop true, and so loop true. Do we have an autoplay? Can I get an autoplay? Navigation, pagination. We might want to add navigation as well, so we'll do that too. Autoplay. So autoplay equals, so autoplay true. Let's try that. So we'll say loop true, and we'll say autoplay true. True, and publish, and let's see how we do. And then we'll add some arrows, and we've got a cool cube slider. So the default might be 2 seconds. Let's see. Nothing yet, nothing yet. Slider JS is really nice, so you can apply all those slider styles that easy to a slider in Webflow. That's awesome. Yeah, it's that easy. So the default is 5 seconds, so I'm not sure. Let's change that. So autoplay, let's do that. Autoplay. Wow, you have a lot of different options here for autoplay. That's nice. Oh, you can also add, Oh, that's cool. You can change the swiper delay, the swiper autoplay to different speeds on each slide. And we can do that in Webflow using the data attribute property. So we might mess with that, but let me try messing with this first here. So we have autoplay. Let's see if it works. So I'll just do, paste that code in there. Autoplay delay. Let's change it to 1 second. It's going to be really fast. Let me format this a bit better. And yeah, let's try that out. So loop true, autoplay. Yeah, it should work. Unless it doesn't work with the cube, which it might. The cube might just be a bit different. And then we can try one more effect too before I close it out, as far as the different effects here. Oh, perfect. And it loops. Amazing. And then I can grab it. Once you grab it, it stops autoplaying. But we have a loop. It completely loops. Oh my god. If you want to get super fancy, I mean, or even more like, if you wanted this cube to be like the main attraction of your site, you could do something like, I don't know, 800 by 800. No, wait, hold on. 400 by 400. And then the collection item. So I guess what I would want to do here, hold on, let me remove this and the swiper slide, or the swiper, 400 by 400, swiper wrapper. This would want to be absolute and full. And the swiper position relative. And then the slide, also absolute and full. No, never mind. No, I actually think, let me undo that. So let's see, swiper, 400 by 400, and then the collection item, yeah, 400 by 400. Okay. But let's say we wanted to do 800 by 800, and then the swiper, 800 by 800. That's way too big. You could do it in percentages too. But let's see how this looks. Wow, that's so cool. Nice, I like that. All right, so actually I do want to showcase, because I know we can do this. So swiper wrapper, this would have to be, and then swiper slide. And then swiper collection list, and then collection item. So I'm guessing we have the swipers. This is relative, so this should be relative. Oh, wait a sec. No. We do need to apply the explicit width and height to each collection item. Or do we? Hold on. So, okay, so swiper wrapper. So that's, yeah, so collection item. So let's remove this and set it to absolute and full. Okay, then the collection list, we'll do absolute and full. And then the collection list wrapper, let's try that, absolute and full. Swiper slide, absolute and full. There we go. And we'll do it for this. So let's see if we still get the same effect. Basically all the slides are on top of each other now, but that's okay. We should still, yeah, perfect. So now if I make this a percentage based, if I say, I don't know, let's do 50% by 50%. No, how about 50 VW? Yeah, 50 VW by 50 VW. So now it should be a responsive slider. Let's see. Yep. So we have a responsive cube. Yeah, now it's responsive. Coolio. We have a responsive cube. You would want to change the text though on smaller breakpoints. Oh, and I said this should be 50 VH, not VW. So 50 VH by 50 VW. There we go. Wow, this is a fun slider. Yeah, I'll go a little bit. It could be lagging, Rashid. Let me close some of my tabs here. I don't know if that's really gonna do much, but yeah, cool. So now we have a completely responsive cube slider. Loving it. All right, cool. So that's done. Let's see what else. Just for fun, let's try one more effect because they do have a lot of demos here. So let's try. Let's go back here and look at the demos. Hopefully the stream is better now. They have some other cool ones. I like CoverFlow. CoverFlow is actually a really cool one. Let's look at cards. Oh, somebody was asking me about this actually, kind of a client. So that'll be a fun thing to do. I can do it with Swiper.js. And that one's cool. Yeah, let's make cards, effect cards. Let's see, so documentation. Okay. Okay, sorry about the video. Hopefully that picks up shortly. Let me see if I have any windows I could close. Okay, yeah, hopefully it's a little bit better now. So let's go to the, what's the creative effect? Flip effect, cover, let's try the cover flow effect. This could be nice. So effect, cover flow. Yeah, let's try this one. And so I'm just going to comment out this code, paste that in there. Let's do the slide shadows. I like the slide shadows, and save. One thing I haven't done yet is add the arrow, so we'll do that next. Yeah, I don't know if I can fix it, Rashid. It's kind of like, yeah, I think it might be YouTube. I don't have many tabs open, so I don't think that's the issue. Yeah. So, okay, so last thing we'll do is add the arrows. So for this, we'll just, in the section, we'll add a div block. I will say left arrow, and we'll say 100 by 100. I'll say position absolute, and position it to the left, and auto, top and bottom. And let's give it a background color. We'll give it the same color as this. There we go. And radius, we'll set it to 50%. Okay, and we'll give it some margin from the left. Cool. Then I will copy and paste, duplicate this. We'll call this right arrow. And I'll position this to the right. Make the top and bottom auto, and then give it some margin of 30 from the right. All right, these are just example arrows, so I'll set the cursor to pointer, and great. So let's go into Swiper, the documentation, and let's see here. Okay, navigation. Okay, so we already have that in there, so I can go in here. So navigation, swiper button next, and swiper button previous. Okay, so okay, and then I'll say, let's try left arrow, left dash arrow, and right dash arrow. Okay, save and publish. And I'll preview, and they don't work. Console, unexpected identifier. So I think I did something wrong here in the code. Yeah, I need a comma after this. Is the video any better, or is it still lagging? Okay, the arrows are not working yet. Unexpected identifier. Let's see. Let's see here. Okay, so we have loop true, delay, navigation arrows. Okay. Yeah, this should be commented out. There we go. Left arrow, right arrow. Okay, so right arrow. Okay. Nice. And we'll preview. There we go. Nice. Still lagging. Sorry about that. Yeah. Cool. So if it still lags, I might just end it a bit early. I do like the cube effect, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to the cube effect. This was the cover flow. So loop, and then we'll go back to the cube effect. Nice. And then we'll call it a day. Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, I can see it's lagging here. All right. Nice. All right, so I think I'm gonna end the stream here. Oh, it's not lagging for me. Okay. All right, cool. If it's not lagging, then I'll continue. I just don't want it to be like a weird experience of watching a laggy video. But yeah, there's not much more I have for the live stream. We can end it early, you know. I'll leave a few minutes for questions or discussion. But yeah, that's it. We use swiper.js. And I mean, we could do so many more things. I just don't want to get too what is it? I don't want to go too out there with some of these sliders. But let's see. Get started. Let's look at some more demos. let's see what they have. So effect cover flow, we went over that. Flip effect, that's cool. The card effect, effect creative, that's cool. Yeah. Oh, nice. Awesome. Happy to hear it. Let's see. Flip, cards. What's cards? Let's do cards. And in the meantime, if anyone has questions, just feel free to post. But we'll do cards. One more effect here. Why not? Cover flow, cards effect. So cards effect, and yeah, let's try this. Effect cards, just to see how it looks. So I'm just gonna comment this out, and we'll add effect cards, and we'll say slide shadows. Let's set the slide shadows to true. Cards effect. Yeah, let's try it. I don't know if it's that easy, but it could be. Save and publish. Oh my God. Wow. It was that easy. I mean, the back and forth, the next and previous slide isn't as graceful, but if you click and drag, that's amazing. Click read more. There's my blog post. Cool. Let me go into here for a sec. I have to style this a bit better. Background image. Oh no, that's fine. Center. Yeah, I want it to be centered. Nice. All right. Yeah, that was Swiper.js with the CMS. That was a lot of fun. So one thing I want to mention, and moving forward, so one thing I'm noticing about a lot of these sites I'm taking a look at is the design is really great. Like some of these sites, like we looked at Reloom yesterday, and they just have really great design. And for example, like these gradients. So I'm diving deep into gradients. I don't know if I'll cover it this week, but like these gradients that they have here and that grainy effect, I'm going to work more in some of my live streams so we can level up the design of some of these demos, right? Because design is such a big part of web development that we want to, at least I want to start leveling up my design, because I'm getting super inspired by Reloom, and Flowbase has great design. Timothy Ricks has great design. And I just love these gradients. And look at that, a moving gradient. That's so dope. Like, just amazing. So yeah, definitely going to work on, my design skills as well, because it's not just about development. So yeah, props to Reloom. I mean, it looks like, are they brothers or just maybe friends, Adam and Dan? But great stuff. Really like it. Yeah, good stuff. So Webflow, yeah, sweet. But yeah, it's giving me inspiration from my site. My site right now is just super basic. I'm pretty aware of that. It's just text, some images, and some icons. But this is going to be leveled up for sure. It's easy to, access different things. Like I have my super chat. I have a few resources that you can look at. And then I showcase my profile here that has a lot of different layouts and interactions. So, that's going to be a major goal for me, is just to level up how my site looks, level up my demos, just to bring even more to the Webflow community. And yeah, I want when someone looks at my live stream too, to be impressed with design, because, we do have some cool effects like card effects and all that, but, package it with nice design, and you can really impress users. Yeah, so I'm not gonna go on too much longer. I can end it early. If anybody has any questions, I'll leave like a minute or so for questions. But yeah, definitely enjoyed this live stream. So just to recap, we built the swiper slider. It looks like this. The layout is swiper, then swiper wrapper, then swiper slide. And in each slide, we added a collection list. We limited the collection list to only show one. And then in each slide, we just changed where we started the collection item. So we have 2, 3, and 4 right over here. And then we created this blog post CMS, added some sample content, and then grabbed that content for the CMS, as you can see here. And then we added the swiper.js code here in the head section and the script section here. And we used the documentation to make a cube and use different effects. So I'll end it with the cube since it's my favorite effect. And yeah. And slide shadows. Let's do slide shadows true for the cube. Cover flow cards. Yeah, and then we did have autoplay, loop true and autoplay. Nice. So Dylan wrote, "Oh man, I missed this session because the class went back in the UK. Can I put the super chat through, John?" Let's do it tomorrow, Dylan, because we are out of time. And I don't want to start looking at something right now. Let's see, cube, loop true, cube effect, cards. Okay. So what happened here? Let's publish it one more time. Yeah, I heard about the times in the UK has changed. Nice. Awesome. So that's gonna be my YouTube cover image. I'm gonna do something like this to get that cube effect going. All right, so I'll end it early. Dylan, feel free to send the super chat tomorrow, and yeah, we'll go over that super chat. Thanks everyone for watching. Have a great rest of the day, and see you tomorrow. Peace.